Assalamu alaikum and sincere welcome to everyone joining us for another enlightening AI session. I am Muhammad Abubakar Faruqi, also known as Faruqi Microsoft Wala, and I am delighted to welcome you all today. Meaningful conversation. Our topic today is the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork. And joining us as our AI conversation partner today is ChatGPT. A very warm welcome to ChatGPT and thank you for being part of this insightful session. Today we will explore how empathy can influence leadership, strengthen teamwork, improve communication, resolve conflicts, and create a more supportive and successful working environment. So, without further delay, let's begin our today's AI session. My first question is that from ChatGPT. Uh, ChatGPT, my first question is that to begin
Sure, go ahead.
our conversation, how would you
Go on then.
see in leadership and what makes it such an important quality for someone who wants to lead people effectively?
Empathy in leadership is the ability to genuinely understand and resonate with what others are experiencing. When a leader tunes into people's perspectives, their stresses, motivations, and hopes, it builds trust and psychological safety. That means people feel seen, heard, and valued. That doesn't mean lowering standards. It means people feel safe enough to give their best. And that connection boosts engagement, creativity, and loyalty.
My next question is that when employees feel understood and respected by their leader, how can empathy help build stronger trust and create a more positive relationship within the team?
When people sense genuine empathy, it signals that their leader isn't just there to get results, but actually cares about them as a person. That lowers defensiveness. So team members become more open, more honest about challenges, and far more likely to share ideas. That openness strengthens trust and a culture where people look out for each other. It also reduces the fear of failure. So collaboration feels safe, friction decreases, and productivity rises naturally.
My next question is that in a workplace where people have different personalities and opinions, how can empathy improve communication and help team members understand each other better?
When personalities and opinions clash, empathy acts like a translator. Instead of reacting to what is said, you pause to understand why it's said. That shift from reaction to curiosity softens conflict. You ask clarifying questions, you listen deeply, you acknowledge emotions before jumping to solutions. That makes others feel heard, which diffuses tension and opens space for constructive dialogue. Over time, teams get better at noticing cues, adjusting, and finding common ground. Communication becomes smoother, collaboration feels natural, and diversity becomes a strength rather than a problem.
Teamwork requires cooperation and mutual support. So, how does empathy help individuals move beyond their personal differences and work together toward a common goal?
Empathy helps people see the human being behind the opinion. When team members imagine what pressures or values might be driving someone else's stance, it becomes easier to respect it, even if they don't agree. That respect shifts the focus from who's right to what's right for the team. It fosters patience, generosity, and willingness to compromise. And when everyone feels valued, they invest more. They share ideas, they negotiate solutions, and celebrate shared wins. In that way, empathy turns differences into a source of creativity and collective strength.
My next question is that many employees need more than instruction to stay motivated. How can uh, how can an empathetic leader recognize their team's needs and encourage them to perform at their best?
An empathetic leader pays attention to subtle cues, tone, energy, engagement, not just words. They check in regularly, ask how things are really going, listen without rushing to fix, notice when someone is quiet or stressed, and respond with support tailored to that person. Flexibility, resources, or simply encouragement. By aligning support with individual needs, leaders reaffirm that each person matters. That recognition fuels motivation, commitment, and a desire to do excellent work because people want to give their best when they feel genuinely cared for.
Workplace conflicts are sometimes unavoidable, but how can an empathetic leader understand different perspectives and guide the team toward a fair and positive solution?
An empathetic leader starts by creating space for each voice to be heard calmly and without judgment. They make sure everyone has a moment to explain, really listening before responding. Then they reflect back what they've heard to show understanding. And that often diffuses the tension a bit. Once the emotions are acknowledged, the leader then can shift towards common goals, what everyone wants underneath the disagreement. Together, they can explore options that respect those shared goals, encouraging fairness and collaboration. The process turns conflict into understanding and understanding into progress, where the solution feels truly collective rather than imposed.
Some people believe that showing emotions can make a leader appear weak. Do you think empathy is actually a weakness or is it one of the greatest strengths of effective leadership?
That's a common misconception. Empathy isn't weakness, it's discipline strength. It takes confidence to listen deeply, especially when views clash. Leaders who practice empathy aren't avoiding tough calls, they're informing those calls with real understanding, which makes their decisions more grounded and impactful. Far from losing authority, empathetic leaders earn respect and loyalty. That trust gives them more influence, not less. So empathy isn't a soft option, it's a strategic advantage, a blend of emotional awareness and a clear-headed action.
A leader must show understanding while also maintaining professional standards. So, how can they balance empathy with accountability when someone is not performing well?
The balance comes from separating the person from the performance. You can care about someone and still hold clear standards. Start by understanding what's behind the performance gap. Ask open questions. Listen with curiosity. Maybe there's a skill gap, unclear expectations, or personal challenges. Acknowledge that context, then set clear, measurable expectations. Offer support and agree on checkpoints. That mix of honesty and support keeps things fair to the team while giving the individual a real chance to improve. If improvement doesn't happen, further steps are taken, but with respect. And accountability delivered with empathy isn't soft. It's humane and effective.
Innovation often begins when people feel comfortable sharing their ideas. So, how can empathetic leader create an environment where employees are confident enough to speak and think creativity?
By making safety explicit and modeling it daily. That means responding to ideas with curiosity, not quick judgment, thanking people for speaking up, even if the idea isn't used, admitting your own mistakes, asking for input, and acting on it. When leaders model vulnerability and respect, people sense that it's safe to take risks. Over time, that psychological safety becomes cultural. People start offering half-formed ideas, asking better questions, building on each other's thoughts. Creativity thrives because curiosity feels welcome, not risky. That's when innovation blooms.
And the team includes people with different personalities, experiences, and working styles. How can empathy help leaders understand these differences and bring out the best in everyone?
By tuning into what energizes each person. Some like space, some want structure, some love brainstorming out loud, others think quietly, then share. Empathy helps a leader notice and adapt, flexing communication and support so each style can shine. It's not playing favorites, it's meeting people where they are, aligning strengths with tasks. That way, diversity becomes an asset, a source of creativity and resilience. The leader's role is to harmonize those differences so everyone feels valued and everyone contributes their best.
My next question is that in today's diverse workplaces, why is empathetic, why is empathy important for creating an inclusive environment where every team member feels valued, respected, and heard?
Because inclusion isn't just about policies, it's about daily interactions. Empathy ensures those interactions convey respect. When leaders lean in to understand different lived experiences, identities, communication norms, they reduce misinterpretations and build a culture of belonging. That sense of belonging increases engagement, retention, the willingness to contribute fully. People bring their whole selves to work. In short, empathy turns diversity into genuine inclusion. It makes everyone feel not just present, but essential.
Workplace pressure can affect both performance and well-being. So, how can empathetic leaders recognize when their team members are struggling and provide meaningful support?
By noticing changes, dips in energy, behavior shifts, missed deadlines, withdrawal, or uncharacteristic frustration, instead of assuming, check in privately, gently. I've noticed you seem stretched. How's it going? Listen without prying. Offer options. Adjust workload, clarify priorities, provide resources or flexibility, and follow up. The key is to normalize those conversations, so asking for help doesn't feel risky. When support is offered early and respectfully, well-being and performance tend to recover together, and trust in leadership grows stronger.
Empathy may come naturally to someone, people, but can it also develop as a leadership skill? And what practical habits can someone adopt to become more empathetic?
It can absolutely be developed. Start small. Practice active listening. Focus fully. Reflect back what you heard. Check if you've got it right. Ask open questions. Notice non-verbal cues, tone, pace, body language. Make a habit of brief perspective taking, asking yourself, what might they be dealing with? What matters most to them? Over time, these habits build your empathy muscle. With practice, it becomes more natural. Like any other skill, it strengthens with intentional repetition and feedback.
When leaders focus only on targets, deadline, and results, what problems can arise if they fail to understand the emotions, challenges, and needs of their team members?
Focusing only on targets and deadlines at the expense of emotional awareness risks burnout, disengagement, and quiet quitting. People might hit short term numbers, but at a cost. Stress piles up, creativity dries up, trust erodes. Misunderstandings go unresolved, resentment builds, and turnover rises. Performance becomes brittle, maybe high in the short term, fragile in the long term. Sustainable results come when leaders pair clarity and high standards with genuine care.
As we conclude this conversation, what is the most important lesson you would like leaders and team members to remember about the power of empathy and in building stronger teams and better workplaces?
That empathy is the bridge between people, and strong teams are built on strong connections. When leaders and teammates take time to understand each other's perspectives, they create trust. That trust unlocks honest communication, creativity, and commitment. It's not a one time gesture, it's a daily practice of listening, respecting, and responding with humanity.
As we bring today's AI session to a close, I would like to sincerely thank ChatGPT for sharing such valuable insights on the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork.
Thank you, Faruqi. It's been a pleasure to be part of this conversation.